systems of equations. One way we did was yesterday with graphing. Now, graphing is great if there are equations that are easy to graph. But even yesterday, we saw with the second one, how easy was it to graph this last one? It was like easy, but it was a little bit more work. Sometimes there's other ways to do this. And that's a big thing of when we solve systems, is we're going to find out that there's 4 different ways, 3 main ways, but one way gets split up into a lot of different ways, to be solving these systems. Okay, so one way is with substitution. So let's talk about that word, substitution. When you hear the word substitution, here you go, dear.
Oh, breeze.
Jordan, put your computer away. Anthony, computer away. We're doing notes. Jordan, computer away, we're doing notes. Great. When we hear substitution, what does it mean to substitute? What would be like another word for substitute? Sub, to like sub out. Good. Okay, what's another word for substitution?
Google it. Substitute.
Substitute. So if you have a substitute teacher, what does that mean to have a substitute teacher?
Teacher is sick.
The teacher is sick, and who comes in?
Teacher.
Another teacher, a substitute teacher. Can it be any substitute teacher? Like any person can come in?
Yeah.
My 7-year-old niece can come in and be my substitute?
Yeah.
Call her up and say, hey, niece, I'm feeling sick. Can you come in and sub for me today? No. So it's a substitute means kind of like to change. We're changing. We're replacing.
With something that's basically equal.
That's equal, yep. Good, we change, replace. If you think about it like in soccer or in volleyball, if you sub out or football and you get a sub in, that means like you're switching players, right? So you're switch out. So those are all words we can use for that word substitute.
You guys into regionals?
Hmm?
You guys into regionals?
For diving.
For diving or not?
Yep. Well, at St. Ben's and St. John's. It's different. Only diving has regionals. It's a thing. All right, so we have x plus 3. Now, with just x plus 3, can I find the answer to that question?
No, you cannot.
No. But if I say x is equal to 5,
Yes, you can.
now can I find the answer?
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
8 equals 8,
Perfect.
right?
Yeah. Let's substitute first, though. So what part of this am I going to switch out?
The x.
Good, the x. And what will I put in for the x?
5.
Good, 5, because x is 5. So 5 plus 3 equals 8. So we've done substitution. We've worked through this where we replace things. Now what we're going to be doing is with multiple equations. Okay? So we have 2 examples we're going to do today.
Just 2?
Just 2, but they're a little bit, I don't know, not long, but there's some work. All right, so for our first example, remember we're doing a system, and a system means we have 2 equations. So we have y equals negative 4x plus 12. That's our first equation.
Then how x equals...
No.
Oh, is it y?
No.
That's, she was subbing, right?
It's 4 times 5.
Okay. Whoa, my goodness. Relax, people. You're going too fast. We're not even there.
Oh, probably.
No, we're not there.
Not bad.
All right, and then our second equation is 2x plus y equals 2.
Do you have to do it below it? I'm kind of like...
A system is usually stacked above and below. So this is like the proper format for a system.
Where's x equal?
Well, that's what we're trying to find. We want a solution.
5.
That was for the other problem.
Oh, I see now.
Okay. So this is a different problem now. All right, so for this problem, we're trying to find an x and a y that make both those equations true.
6.
Okay? We're not just going to guess, though, because that would take us forever. All right, so what we're going to do here is we're going to look at this part. We know that y is equal to a certain amount. So I'm going to take a highlighter. You could take a colored pencil or a highlighter. We're going to take that negative 4x that y is equal to. Negative 4x plus 12.
Yeah.
And we're going to put it in for, what is it equal to?
2.
No, what does it say? Negative 4x plus 12 equals what?
Y.
Y. Okay, so I'm going to put it in for this y.
So, how would that work then?
Well, I'm going to tell you. So I'm going to skip a line just to kind of show my work here that that's the problem. So I'm going to have 2x plus, but now instead of y, I want to think what was y equal to.
Nothing.
We said y was equal
To negative 4x.
to negative 4x plus 12. But in this equation here is 2x plus y equals 2. So we're replacing the y with what we know y is equal to.
Okay. Like that, like that.
All right. Now we're going to solve this for x. That's our goal, is to get what x is equal to. So we have two terms with x's. What do we do when we see those terms? We can combine them.
So equal 2 then, right?
So if I have 2 plus negative 4, if I'm adding a positive and a negative,
Negative 2.
are we going to add or to subtract?
We're going to add.
We actually subtract when they're opposite. So 4 minus 2,
Would be negative
2. Why is it negative 2, Dane?
2. Because it wasn't this side. Because 4 is bigger than 2.
Good. When we have 2x and negative 4x, we have more negatives. So it's with a bigger number. Okay. We bring down that plus 12 equals 2. Now this should be our nice cozy sweatshirt that we like to wear. We should feel comfortable solving this. So if you want to work ahead, you can work ahead. Our goal is to get x by itself. So with that x, we have a negative 2 and a 12. What do we get rid of first, the negative 2
Negative
or the 12?
12.
Good, we have to undo that adding 12, that constant. So to undo adding 12, what's the inverse of adding? Subtracting. If we do it on one side,
Negative the other equals. Yeah.
Jordan, you need to actually be listening. It's not do it and then do something. Do something. Okay, do that later. We're doing notes now.
Is it negative 10?
Mm-hmm. Good. So I have negative 2x is left because the 12s are gone. 2 minus 12. If I start at 2 and I go backwards 12, where would I end up at? 10. But would it be a positive 10 or a negative 10? Negative 10.
This goes positive 5, right?
What?
It goes positive 5.
Yep. Just pause for a moment. We're not there yet, though. It's okay if you are, but we're not. What part are you confused on?
How are we confused on that?
So you guys just go home and discuss with you, man.
Yeah.
What's this? That's 2x plus negative 4x. That was our next step.
Alright. Yep. 12x. Only a math.
We did 2x plus negative 4x. What did we get?
Right.
2x plus negative 4x. Sometimes others just need tough one.
That's 2x plus negative 4x was negative 2x. You missed that part.
Do you have the answer?
In this one?
And what did we
Just
do?
look at it step by step.
What is it? We put the 12 over here.
We did a minus 12 and a minus 12 on both sides. So look right here. Look on the board. Minus 12, minus 12. All right, so now negative 2 and x are touching. So what does that mean when they're touching?
You got minus 1.
Bro, you got to start thinking before you start talking. What do we do when they're touching?
Oh, my God.
Multiplying. So how do we undo multiply?
You gotta divide.
Divide. So we're going to divide by
Negative 2x.
Negative
Wait,
2.
no, just negative 2.
And then you divide on each side and then you divide.
Never wrong though, right?
So I thought we
Good
were
job.
talking about
Yeah.
2.
Q. Alright, so when we divide by negative 2, we just get x. Negative 10 divided by negative 2 is
Positive 5.
positive 5. I'm going to switch up my highlighter colors. I'm going to use orange for that one. X equals 5. Now, is that my solution, my answer?
Yes. Yeah.
Do solutions look like just one number?
Nope.
No, remember a solution yesterday was like an ordered pair. We need an x and we need a y. So now we're going to take that x and we're going to take this other equation that we already wrote, this y equals negative 4. But instead of x, what did we just find out is x? 5. We can replace it. We can substitute again.
Yeah, I told you it was 5 from the start.
Okay, plus 12. That was just,
Pure luck?
yeah.
No, it was pure smart. I'm joking. It was lucky.
I said 6 because like 12 divided by 2 is 6.
I said it was 5 because I thought it was good.
Yeah, you thought we were doing the example still. Alright, so now I'm going to find my answer. And in this one, y is already by itself. So that makes it really easy to find the answer because I just have to figure out what's negative 4 times 5 plus 12.
Negative 20.
So we're going to think
12.
first. Just breathe. We're going to think of our order of operations. So for order of operations, do we multiply first or do we add?
Multiply. We're going to multiply.
Good. Yeah, germ DOS. Good. MD come before. So what's negative 4 times 5?
Negative 20.
Negative 20. Okay, plus 12.
Negative 7.
So when I have a negative and a positive, are we going to add or subtract? Really, we subtract. So we're thinking 20 minus 12 is
17. Oh, it's 9.
so negative 20 plus 12,
Negative 2.
negative 8.
Oh.
We're all over the board here.
No, I thought it was. I got confused.
So y equals negative 8.
Nice. Good job.
All right, so now when we do our solution for our final answer,
No way. So we're done.
our solution, we want it to look like an ordered pair. So in an ordered pair, what part comes first? X and then y. So what was our x? What number did we find?
Negative 8.
X is 5
X is 5.
and Y is negative 8.
Right. And that's our final answer. So let's check our work. That's kind of the nice thing about this is we can always check our work. I'm not going to have you show your checks. It's just something that's good for you to double check and understand what this really means. So, I'm in the middle of doing stuff, dude.
I think you're in the middle of brainstorming.
All right, so I'm going to take my calculator.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, and I'm going to, on this first one here, it says y equals negative 4x plus 12. So I'm going to do negative 4 times, what's my x? 5 plus 12. Does that equal my y?
No.
What was my y?
Negative 8.
Negative 8. Did it equal negative 8?
Yes.
Yep. Okay, what about this one? If I do 2 times my x, what's my x?
Negative 8.
What's my x? 5 plus y, so plus negative 8. Is my answer 2?
Yeah, it is.
Yep. So did it work for both equations?
No.
Submit.
Yep, so it's the solution. All right, we have one more example, number 2.
equations that we're supposed to find out.
Yeah. Sometimes when we do math, we forget what originally we're trying to do. We get so like deep into the math that we forget like what the problem was that we were trying to solve.
There's not that many problems in there because
All right. Number 2, we have 2x minus 6y equals 22. And x equals 2y plus 8.
Oh, we didn't quite finish this one. But we're on to the next one. We have to finish that after. We're on this one now.
All right, so on this one, do I have something I can replace for the y or something I can replace for the x?
no.
I know what y is equal to. Yep, that's the one we're doing right now.
The other side.
Yep, that's what we're doing right now.
Low bros, wow.
That does not work right. Okay.
All right, so do we know what y is equal to or do we know what x is equal to?
Y
You know what?
Y.
Where do you see a y equals?
Oh, it is X.
It is x, yeah. Sometimes we don't have to just, we can let other people explain it too.
Always
Why?
because.
Just let other people take a second. All right, so x equals 2y plus 8, and we're going to throw that in for this x here.
I'm sorry.
What are you doing?
You going?
Can you not see the board?
You going?
Okay. All right, so I'm going to start with that 2. Now, instead of x, I'm going to put parentheses, and I'm going to put in what I think x is. Not what I think x is. What is x? And whatever that goes, I'm going to do the minus 6y equals 22. Q. It's really hard to teach when you're just yelling out random things. All right, so originally this was 2x minus 6y equals 22, but in this space here, I want to put what x was equal to, which is 2y plus 8. Thank you. All right, now our goal here is to solve this equation. So when we look at this one's a little different than the last one. The last one we noticed there was 2 x's. Here we have 2 y's. There's a 6y and a 2y. But there's something a little different about it, and Dane already noticed it. What did you notice, Dane? What told you that we have to do distributive? Good, the parentheses. Because we have those parentheses there, we're going to distribute. Pew! Pew! Okay, if you need that reminder, it's been a while since we've distributed, so if you want to write that down, it's 2 times 2y.
2y and 2a.
And then we're going to do 2 times, what's the second part? 8. Do I need to do 2 times the 6y?
No. No.
You're behind already, dude.
Because it's not in the parentheses.
Good, it's not in the parentheses. Good. So now I have 2 times 2y.
4.
Good, 4y.
Lots are divided.
Well, we're multiplying. 2 times 2. What are you asking? It says plus 8, yep. So 4y, 2 times 8,
Plus 16.
16. And then we keep that minus 6y equals 22.
And then you gotta.
Okay, wait, we're not there yet. You can do it yourself.
This guy's going over there.
Joelle, we don't need comment on everything.
It's my first one.
It is your third. All right, so 4y plus 16 minus 6y equals 22. It's not quite ready to solve yet. It's not just our 2 parts. So there's something there I can combine. What are my like terms we can put together?
The Y's. Yes.
Good, the y is the 4y minus 6y. What's 4y minus 6y?
-2.
Good, 4 minus 6 gives us negative 2. So negative 2y plus 16 equals 22. And now this is that nice, cozy, comfy sweatshirt that we should feel like we can solve.
Subtract 16 on both sides and equal.
Okay, Pop,
Oh, I
just
was gonna say it.
relax.
I was gonna say, how many
We're not there yet. All right, if you know how to solve this, go ahead and work ahead.
Alright, then.
Perfect. Then go on to the next step. See if you can figure out what to do after you find y.
The next step. That's about it.
Okay, then just be patient.
Wait, how did
All right,
16 again?
Wait, I think I-
16 was originally there. It's already, because we did 2 times 8 to get 16. So that 16 is this 16. We got the negative 2y by doing 4 and negative 6 together into negative 2.
Oh.
Okay, so now to get y by itself, are we going to undo the negative 2 first or the 16?
We got minus the 16.
Okay. So to undo adding 16, we're going to subtract 16. If we do it to one side,
We got 11.
all right, so now I have negative 2y equals, what's 22 minus 16?
6.
6, good. Notes don't just stop. We keep going. Yep, we're right here. We're right here. You're missing that part. You're missing this part. All right, so now to get y by itself, how do I undo a multiplying by negative 2?
Divide by negative 2.
Gotta divide by negative 2, and if we do it to one side,
We gotta do it to the other.
good. So what is 6 divided by negative 2?
Negative 3.
Negative 3.
So,
All right.
So this is right.
Y equals negative 3.
So now that we have 1, are we done?
No.
Nope. We gotta find the x now.
So we're good.
X to Y equals 8.
So I'm going to go back. Yeah, good. We go to that x equals 2y plus 8. So originally in that equation it was x equals 2y plus 8. But instead of y, we're going to throw in our number we now know y is. What is y? Jordan, this is the part. Come on. Jordan, put it away. What is y?
Why it's
Negative 3. All right, yesterday on your quick check, those of you that did it, you might have noticed that I jumped to the answer here because we're at the point now with Desmos. If you want to just type in that whole answer, 2 times negative 3
equals negative.
plus 8, we can throw that all in and just get our answer. Our answer is 2.
Yesterday I wasn't here. I did a quick check, but I can't go in it. It's closed.
It's closed. Okay, I'll look at it. All right, so that's our x equals 2. Now that we need to write our answer professionally.
Professionally?
What do we call our answer in these systems?
Solution.
Good, solution. So our solution, we write it as an ordered pair. So which one comes first, the 2 or the negative 3?
Negative 3. No 2 on it.
Why does 2 come
Because
first?
it's the x, not the y.
Good, it goes x, y. So 2, and then our y is
3.
negative 3. All right, we have about 15 minutes here for you to start your quick check.